Monday and welcome to the Reality Bang. I'm RJ Yohann, your host for the session, and thank you for tuning in. That said, if you guys want to contribute to our topics, have any questions, or just want to tell us what an amazing job we are doing, you can reach out to us at 6364252164. Now let's jump right into it. For this edition of the Reality Bang, we have a very special topic to discuss: art versus AI. Is it a threat or a transformation? And of course, we could not have this topic without Mr. Himanshu here with us, who's part of the elite partnership in the India Advantage Summit. It's a great pleasure to have you on the show, Mr. Himanshu.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Johan, for having me here. It's great to be back again. I believe we last were together in 2023. I think AI has evolved multiple versions since then. So
Uh,
I think when we were there, we were talking about that GPT 2, and
yeah,
now it's 4 Pro, and DALI has become DALI 3 and all that. So it's good to be back. Thank you so much for the invitation, and looking forward to having a wonderful conversation with you.
thank you so much. So let's jump right into it. So my very first question is going to be now. Of course, we know this whole Ghibli art AI filter. It's crazy, like really good animation. Like my face can actually be, animated very well. So let's dive into it now. The recent Studio Ghibli AI filter, has drawn a lot of criticism, for mimicking a beloved hand-drawn style. Now, do you think AI tools like this, are a threat to the original artists, or the original, every artist has your own expression, right? Like, is it a threat to that, or a natural progression of, creative technology?
I mean, Johan, if you ask me, Studio Ghibli is just the start. There will be many more studios like that. Imagine, everybody can become an Iron Man or a Batman or a Wonder Woman like that, right? So Studio Ghibli is just the beginning. But yes, if you ask me, it is definitely leading to a lot of um, excess creativity, I would say, in so much that, people are overusing it for things which are not even relevant. And
Yeah.
CEO of OpenAI himself said, Sam Altman, he said that they're burning their GPUs just to create Ghibli art for you. And is it really important to us? But if you ask me, asking you personally, have you created any Ghibli art on your own?
No, no, not
No,
been a part of it.
and exactly. Neither have I, because to be honest, it was not necessary, right?
Yeah.
Uh, I did see a lot of art impressions, like we were just talking earlier, and then there was this girl with her husband, and then they are standing for a photo, and then the Ghibli art transforms their photo into a beautiful art form, but suddenly the girl has a sindoor on her forehead. So that's not art. That's just AI trying to imitate. I mean, art
Yeah.
perfection was always there, right? I mean,
Hmm.
thousands of years ago as well. Art is
Hmm.
not just drawing, but it's also live objects. I mean, humans have been able to build pyramids, and that was literally millennia ago. So
Hmm.
art perfection was always there. It was there in the scriptures. It was there in the books. It was there in the paintings, the music, all of it. What AI is trying to do is just imitate.
Yeah.
So there, if you ask me, are studios and are people getting impacted by it? Yes. Is
Okay.
it leading to creativity, deterioration? Yes. Because
Hmm.
instead of you thinking that, okay, maybe I need to put into my own head that this is what I want, I just give a photo and I just tell AI that this is what I want and it does it. So, and then I'm happy with it because, and I'll tell you, this is
Okay.
the reason
Yeah.
why people are happy with it, is that after 5 iterations, the humans get tired of giving the prompt and suddenly realizing they're not going to get a perfect image. So
Hmm.
whatever is the best version, they accept that and they're happy with it.
Yeah.
So it's not that AI has managed to evolve so much. It's still evolving, and it's still, I would say, just the tip of the iceberg where AI and art and music and other design forms are confluencing. But it's just the beginning of this small stage that we call the the transition phase where
Yeah.
we find it difficult to say whether it is done by human or whether it's done by AI.
Hmm. So, like, AI is changing, over a long period of time, and of course it's very quick. I mean, we spoke in 2023, and of course now it's 2025, and there's a huge changes to AI. I never expected, AI to, grow this big. So which leads me to my second question now. How do you see AI reshaping, creative industries in, like, say, the next 5-10 years, especially in the areas, film designing, music, and of course writing? Like, even recently, like, my mom told me, like, why can't you start applying in content writing jobs? And I was like, I would if AI never existed. Yeah, sure, it would be a very good thing. So what do you have to say for that?
So let's go back a few years.
Hmm,
In 2020, there was a in 2022 actually there was a film released by the name of Sharmaji Namkeen. It's a
hmm,
Hindi feature film.
yeah.
So it was a first of its kind that two different actors were used to play the same character. So
Hmm,
what happened when the movie started production in January 2020? Uh, COVID hit, and then Rishi Kapoor was the lead actor,
yeah.
and unfortunately, Rishi Kapoor passed away during production. And then there was a dilemma: should we go ahead with the film, or should we use a different actor? I mean, in
Hmm,
2020, AI was not that good that it would, create digital renditions of Rishi Kapoor,
hmm,
provided the family gave their go ahead. But AI was not that powerful, so they
yeah.
used Paresh Rawal. And if you watch the movie, it's one of the most beautiful films you'll ever watch.
Hmm,
So, and you have to know the story behind it as well, right? That why they chose Paresh Rawal, and it's very fluid. You will
hmm,
barely realize that these are two different actors, right? Because it's not the actors, it's the character which you are focusing on.
yeah.
This is not possible because simply they will create a rendition of another actor, or they will simply replace the entire actor and say, okay, this is the actor that digitally created actor that who is going to be part of this movie. But these are lead actors that we are talking about. Imagine the background actors, imagine the background dancers, the background singers. All of
Hmm,
them are going to be eventually. I hope it is not the future, but there is a very scary scenario where all the background actors, actresses and artists are going to be replaced by AI. That's
oh,
why,
okay.
that's why there are very prominent figures who are actually fighting for this, right?
Hmm,
When Time released their top 100 AI influencers of 2024, you had some very big names like Jensen Wang, Sam Altman was there, Satya Nadella was there. But you also had people like Marcus Brownlee. I'm
hmm,
sure, being a YouTuber, you know him, a very
yeah.
famous reviews of multiple devices, starting from phones and even going as big as Tesla and so on. You
Yeah.
had actor like Anil Kapoor who was there on the list. You had
Hmm,
actors like Scarlett Johansson. Now the reason why they were there is because, I mean, initially everybody thought, wow, AI, what is Anil Kapoor going to do about AI? Right?
hmm,
But this was the idea, right? That how do you stop the eroding of talent and just random conversion of digital ones and zeros?
yeah.
So if you if you ask me the next 5 years, yes, there is going to be a lot of evolution. It's not
Hmm,
going to be a revolution because the revolution has already happened. Human revolution has happened. The AI is just evolving into something that humans have already done and mastered.
hmm,
So yes, in the coming 5 to 10 years, there will be some short, shortage of jobs and work for especially designers. Like for example, if if I have to ask you, can you design a logo for me? I have to give you precise instructions, and I'm asking a human
yeah.
person, by the way.
Hmm,
I have to give you precise instructions. I have to pay you. I have to follow up with you multiple times. Is it done? You will tell me
oh, yeah.
today. Then tomorrow I call, and then it's still not done. All this can be replaced and can be done by AI today. So what will happen
Hmm,
to the illustrators? What will happen to the uh, to the book review
hmm,
person? What will happen to the comic writers? So I was just
yeah.
walking down Church Street one evening last year, and then I was stopped by one guy. He said, "Hey, hi, this is a book that I wrote. Would you mind buying it? And more than buying it, would you mind giving me a review on it?"
Hmm,
Now I bought the book. I have read a few pages of it. I'm a little behind on my reading list, but Now, that was last year, but
Okay.
today, as I'm talking to you, I'm wondering, did he write the book himself or was it written by AI? So I'm already doubting that,
Okay.
right? Because we have entered that stage where it is very difficult to differentiate between what's real, what I mean by real, I mean what's human made, and what's AI created.
Yeah.
So I mean you can put all sorts of disclaimers, okay, generated by AI. You can put all sorts of watermark and so on, but everything is replicable, right?
Mm.
We have got instances where entire crumbled up, and this is something that I myself did. Entire crumbled up bills, restaurant bills or any hotel bills or something are generated by Dali.
Yeah.
I saw one photo where an entire US passport was created by
Oh.
by
Okay.
basically Dali. So yes, it is going to be very difficult to differentiate between who is the original creator.
Hmm.
And that begs the question, is the art which makes the artist, or is the artist which makes the art? Right? Because
Oh, yeah.
today, today we never know, right? All the training that has been done for AI, it's
Hmm.
all being done by sourcing from open source, but a lot of it is done by sourcing from copyrighted, data. So
Yeah.
there's a website called have have I been trained.com. So yeah, it's got about like 6.5 billion images and so on as well. So say for example, you put a search prompt elephant, and it will give you all the instances available online where an
Hmm.
elephant has been showcased. This could be a real elephant in Africa. It could be elephant tattoo. It could be an elephant imprint on a hoodie. It could be anything,
Oh,
and that
wow.
is how AI is being trained. So it's
Hmm.
and a lot of it is open source, but a lot of it is copyrighted information as well. So if something is copyright and they are not being paid for it, they are not being compensated for it, then of course there is going to be backlash. There is going to be loss of income, loss of jobs, and so on as well.
Yeah.
So it is possible as a layman, as a everyday user, if I just want to use AI to make Ghibli art, it is very much fun. But as a creator, as an artist, it is going to be a bit of a winter for me.
Hmm. So doesn't this actually, remove the originality from, the artist? Because of course they learn a lot, they go through a lot of, hardship just learning the art and, becoming masters in their various arts. No, doesn't this actually cause a huge, downside that, AI is able to do this just in a snap of a finger? And, these artists who have spent years in their work, years in their craft are just finding
Mm.
it so hard, just to keep up with this entire thing.
Yeah, it is. I mean, if you talk about originality, an artist can maybe paint 1,000 paintings of the same thing, but every single one of them will have something different, something original, right? And that
Yeah.
we have seen that, artists who sit for hours and hours in, in heavy rainfall or in bright sunlight, uh, painting just one building every single day,
Yeah.
and that's art. Right. Now AI will make 1,000 copies of it and say that this is art. So originality is being reduced, but there are ways to mitigate that.
Hmm.
Back in 2023, a university professor, he led a team from University of Chicago, and they created something called as nightshade. So
Hmm.
essentially, nightshade is like a poison pill which you can insert into your image,
Okay.
where if I have created, for example, if I have created a beautiful painting of a crocodile in a lake,
Hmm.
right? Now, what I will do is if I put it publicly, and so it's not about only the image, you also have to put some word to it because AI on its own, as of now, is not so good at just reading an image.
Yeah.
As long as there's no context, AI finds it very difficult. So
Hmm.
I put it up online, and then AI will pick it up, and then it will pick up thousands of other crocodiles and alligators and gharials and all that, and be able to differentiate it.
Hmm.
Now, what Nightshade does is, for example, to that same crocodile in a lake, if I enter this, if I use Nightshade,
Hmm.
instead of showing AI that this is a crocodile in a lake, it will show that this is a wonderful leather bag
Oh,
made out of.
okay.
So, so AI is not able to train itself on this image. So
Hmm,
imagine billions of images which have just nightshade in them, so that AI is not able to train them at all.
hmm,
There are certain instances where there have, been a lot of backlashes, especially from corporations. Like for example, Adobe, they trained their AI agent, their Photoshop AI agent, on all the images and videos and all the art renditions which were there stored in their servers created by humans.
yeah.
And after Adobe had done that, they said, "Oh, look, this is what we have done." So, so that's what there are ways to somehow resolve or to somehow protect your, protect your IP, because it is IP. But again, the laws cannot keep up to date with the evolving AI. AI is evolving at a rapid pace. Laws are not at that stage yet.
Yeah.
So best thing is that you don't make it public. You know, you charge for it. You put your as many trademarks, as many watermarks, as many protections that you can do to protect your art. But anyways, as long as it is online, it is already scanned and it is already stored. Once it is stored, it is never lost.
Yeah.
So that's how AI gets a perfect image of the elephant that I talked about.
Hmm,
If I want a one touched elephant, it will
yeah.
give me just one touch of an elephant, because it has seen thousands and thousands of elephants with just one touch from multiple angles in multiple environments. So
Hmm,
that's how there are certain ways to get around it, but essentially it's all up to how you use it.
of course. So, I'll move on to the third question now. Is there a way to build AI tools that respect intellectual property rights and without stifling information or innovation rather? Because I mean, most of us, we have seen like this recent post that has come up with the Ghibli AI filter, like
Yeah.
even the person who I don't know whether he's heading it or not, but there was a person from this entire corporation that actually said, we are using, all these people just to train our AI model, how to get more perfected in, creating this certain animation. So what will you have to say for that?
I mean, so yeah, you should be scared about and you should be cognizant about what you put on the web.
Hmm,
Uh, how many of your photos you want the world to see, essentially. What if the same Ghibli art, can also be reversed into the original art form or into a
oh yeah.
mocked art form, right? Now today we have got deep fakes where you can you can transform not just the photo but the entire video.
Hmm,
So, I mean, there are certain ways where corporations have, built some sort of guardrails in terms of what they can and what they cannot do. But in terms of building tools, it is very difficult to catch up to the technology, to be honest.
yeah.
Not everybody has the resources. So, for example, if I, as a design studio, want to build my own tool, um, earlier I would be relying on artists who do maybe physical drawings or who do digital art.
Yeah.
Now I have to hire people who know AI art,
Hmm,
right? So it's all about a lack of resources as well, where it becomes very difficult to actually create any sort of tool which can ethically saying, which can safeguard the IP, safeguard the art, and provide a fair compensation to the artist, because
yeah.
everything is just sold left and right, and it just people use open source to the extent that it's no longer open to public, but it's always open to those who are training their models on it.
Yeah. Now, do you think, AI can truly understand or generate content, with emotional, cultural nuances, or is that something only human creators can bring? Because, like, if we take a look at any, piece of art, like take Beethoven's masterpiece, Moonlight Sonata. Now, it is played in such a I, I can't even have words to exclaim how great it is. And of course people have remixed it with the bass guitar, electric guitars, and all of that. And now, can AI actually copy something like this with that much of ferocity, which Beethoven actually composed the song?
So that's where I'll come back to what I said at the beginning.
Hmm.
Humans have already perfected a lot of things, art, music, design, filmmaking. Humans have perfected a lot of things. AI is only imitating them, and it is not there yet where it has imitated 100% of it. For example, you could say that okay, certain things AI can replicate and duplicate and recreate like an original, right?
Yeah.
But certain things it just cannot. For example, in the movie Interstellar, the entire the big you know the big tune that we hear blasting into our ears, that's from an organ, it's from a church organ in the UK.
Hmm.
Now the reason why that music is so powerful is because it is not just it's not just any common, or it's not a simple instrument. You see the
Yeah.
size of the church organ, right? It's like one entire floor,
Hmm.
and the machine itself breathes, and machine itself acts like not as a human, but tries to imitate humans to the possible extent that there are gaps, there are pauses, and the person who is using that church organ is just as good as the organ itself.
Yeah.
AI can never do that. And so, in terms of yes, there are certain things that AI can do. For example, recognition. AI is very good at that. AI, you give it a tune out of maybe a broken tune out of maybe let's say half a millisecond or 1 second or 2 seconds, and it will tell you exactly which song it is. And it is
Yeah.
doing that. It has been doing that for quite some time. That's how Shazam was built, right?
Hmm.
But in terms of originality, in terms of original creations, it is not there yet. So I will say that AI right now in art and artistry, it's in the fast food era of art, where if I want something cheap, if I want something quick, I don't care how I get it, I will use AI. But if I want something really deep, something which really has value, then I will definitely go to the original artist. I will definitely go to someone who has the nuances and who has the cultural reference as well to understand to create this art. Studio Ghibli, this Ghiblification would not have been so popular if Studio Ghibli itself was not that popular, right? Otherwise,
Exactly.
there are enough of werewolves and vampires and so art as well. Nobody bothers about on it. So
Yeah.
that is also there. I mean, but certain things I would say that AI can also be a better part of it. Like for example, a lot of things are lost just because nobody picks it up.
Yeah.
If we were to digitalize a lot of a document,
Hmm.
maybe a human may not be able to go through all of it, but AI will be able to go through a lot of it. And
Yeah.
that's how it, like I said, once it saves, it stores, it is there forever. So that's how cultural references can be kept forever, which can be used by a human, provided he or she is able to provide the right prompts to the AI, can be used to build something really beautiful. But on its own, AI at this point is not able to get us that mastery of art or mastery of music or mastery of design that we are looking
Of course, of course. Now, moving on to my last question. Now, in a world, AI is evolving very, very rapidly, as we spoke a little bit earlier in the conversation. Now, what advice would you give to, young artists, young creators, who are feeling uncertain about their future? Because, of course, AI is taking a lot of, their creation just away from them in just a
at.
snap. So, what would you have to say? Like,
So, so you take a photo, for example, with your with your regular phone camera,
yeah,
and you take it with a DSLR.
hmm,
Which one will you prefer?
of course, the DSLR.
Okay, but I'll tell you this. Now, you said you will prefer the DSLR, but DSLR will show you all your imperfections as well, by the way.
Hmm,
So the phone camera has AI. It will remove all the imperfections. It will make the photo perfect for you.
yeah,
The DSLR gives you the original and then lets you work upon
hmm,
it. So for that, I will say that it's all up to you how you use AI, right? For
yeah,
certain things, I will always prefer a DSLR. Maybe long
hmm,
shots, I'll prefer a DSLR because my phone camera will not be able to do justice to it. But for
yeah,
certain group photos or certain things, I will always prefer a phone camera because it will remove all the imperfections. It is trained on different models, so It is trained on literally millions and millions of photos, so it knows what is the right exposure, it knows what is the right color balance and all that, and it will give me a picture perfect photo.
Okay, yeah,
Physically speaking, yeah, yeah. So it's all about how you use it as well. Embrace it. That's all I can say. Run with it as fast as you can. Learn it. Um, if you are not using it, you're going to be replaced by it. And like I said, design studios, instead of hiring physical artists or digital artists, now are going to be hiring AI artists.
yeah,
I and you, provided we have that creativity as well, by the way,
hmm,
I and you can create a lot of art which people did not even think was possible, like Grok and Dali and Midjourney, all these AI tools. Now, imagine, just because I'm not able to, keep my hand, straight, or keep my hand calm, I'm
hmm,
not able to draw well. But
yeah,
if I have that creativity, and if I am able to be patient enough to provide the right prompt to the AI, because you have to be patient enough as well and get the prompts right, then I can also get some really good art. I can
yeah,
also get some really good videos and renditions and so on. So my only advice is embrace it. Everybody else is embracing it. It's the large corporations who are building it, but they are training it out of small players, right? Your
yeah,
smaller freelancers. Someone maybe Pinterest, for example, will suddenly lose relevance because nobody is uploading on Pinterest. Everything is there on CP or Shutterstock, but half the content is AI generated.
yeah,
So it's all there. I will say that just embrace it, play with it, build with it, and eventually, if you are able to perfect it, I mean, yeah, you are not just an artist, but now you are an AI artist. So you have to learn to be that as well. And AI, to an extent, it can give you the icing on the cake, but you have to be the cake, right?
yeah.
So if you are happy with eating just icing and sugar, go ahead. But if you only eat the cake, you should know the technology and you should know the foundation part of it as well.
Yeah, like every cake needs a baker, right? Without the baker, the cake
Exactly,
cannot be
exactly,
made.
exactly, exactly.
So, with that said, that officially brings us to the end of today's show. A huge thank you to Mr. Himanshu for joining today's show.
Thank you, Johan. Thank you for having me. Let's see when we next connect. What what
Yeah,
also? So I forgot to tell this part. I mean, so
yeah,
it's not AI is not perfect yet, right? And then one very funny rendition of Ghiblification that I saw was then a group of women. They were standing outside a temple, and one of them had a flower basket in her hand, and there was a coconut in the basket. So the Ghibli art form created a human head instead of the coconut in the basket. So that's it. It is. It's not there yet. It is going to take a lot of time. Hopefully,
yeah.
when we talk next, many things have improved. We don't have additional sindoors and heads instead of coconuts there.
Who knows? The next time when we talk, we may have AI generated voices, talking to
Oh
each
yeah,
other.
yeah. Maybe I'll just use my keyboard and give you the prompts, and then you will never know if it's me or if it's an AI rendition of me.
Exactly, exactly. Okay, so remember, guys, we air on Mondays at 4:30 p.m. That's it. If you guys want to contribute to our topics, have any questions, or just want to tell us what an amazing job you're doing, you can reach out to us at 6364252164. And a huge thank you to our listeners for tuning into this edition of the Reality Bang, your weekly dose of your power, brought to you by FEBA Online. This is Ajay Yohann. Hope you have an amazing week, and I'll see you next